Today we are talking about slope and rate of change. Slope is rise over run. Have you guys heard that multiple times in your life? Slope is rise over run. Slope is also denoted by the letter m. So when you see like y equals mx plus b, m is your slope. It's the rise over run. Because the y values are the vertical axis, you subtract your y values on the top, you subtract your x values on the bottom. So here is the formula for slope. Subtract your y values on the top, subtract your x values on the bottom. If the slope is positive, the slope is going to rise from left to right. So that is an example of a line with positive slope. From left to right, if you were walking across this line from left to right, you'd be climbing a hill. Negative slope falls from left to right. That'd be like sledding down a hill, or skiing, or running, or rolling, or whatever you do with hills, I guess. A slope of 0 is a horizontal line. Walking on flat ground. My line is not horizontal, is it? Is that better? I guess. And a vertical line is undefined slope. You're rising, 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 rising. You're not ever running, so it'd be like a value divided by 0, which you can't do, so it's undefined. All right, so for each of these examples, we need to use the slope formula to find the slope and then decide, is it rising, falling, horizontal, or vertical? I really hate it when the examples all have like the same numbers in it. Let's go to number 3, because number 3 has all different numbers in it. We will go back to the other ones eventually. Remember, your x values are the first numbers in the ordered pair, and your y values are the second numbers in each ordered pair. Some people find it helpful to label x1, y1, and then x2, y2. You don't technically need that, but you can. The important thing is you have to subtract your y's on top, and whatever order you subtract them, you have to mimic that order in the x's. So if I take 1 minus a negative 2, so I'm going y2 minus y1. You have to subtract in the same order. So on the bottom, would I do negative 3 minus 6, or would I do 6 minus a negative 3? 6 minus a negative 3. It is also helpful to notice that the slope formula involves subtraction. So if you're subtracting and it's a negative number, yes, you do minus a negative. All right, 1 minus a negative 2, that's the same as 1 plus 2. That would be 3. 6 minus a negative 3 is the same as 6 plus 3. That would be 9. If you can simplify this fraction in your head, great. If you can't, use your calculator. 3 ABC button 9, hit enter. It will simplify this fraction for you. It is the fraction 1/3. So the slope between these 2 points is 1/3. Is 1/3 positive, negative, 0, or undefined? It's positive, so this slope rises. If you're actually looking at this on a graph, you would go up 1 over 3, up 1 over 3 to get that line. All right, which one should we do next? Number 2? Okay. You want to try number 2 on your own? Yeah? Sure. All right, pause the video, give it a try. I did negative 4 minus 1. Then I did 1 minus a negative 5. That gives me negative 5 over 6. Did you all get negative 5 over 6? Okay, and that's negative, so this slope falls. Want to do number 4 next? All right, let's do number 4 next. My class says 4 next, so we're doing 4 next. All right, the y values are 7 and 3. There's a bunch of 7s here. So we are doing 7 minus 3 on the top. I do find that at least doing arrows is helpful, so I know what numbers I'm subtracting. 7 minus 7 on the bottom. That gives us 4 over 0. What is 4 divided by 0? It's not 0. If you try it in your calculator says error, because one of the number 1 rules of math is you can't divide by 0. It doesn't work. I have 2 pencils in my hand. I'm going to divide these pencils evenly into 0 groups. Where are these 2 pencils going to go? It's not Harry Potter world. We can't make them disappear. So you can't take something and divide it into nothing. It doesn't compute. So this is a case of undefined. The slope is undefined. And that means that it is a vertical line. Okay? Dividing by 0 is bad. It makes an undefined slope. You can probably guess what number 1 is going to be now. 3 minus 3 on the top. And on the bottom, we have 4 minus 0. That gives us 0 divided by 4. Okay, everybody take a look, or if you're on the video, imagine. I have 0 cookies in my hand. Do you all agree that there are 0 cookies in my hand? Okay, I'm going to take these 0 cookies and divide them evenly among all of the students in this room. How many cookies are each of you going to get? 0. There's nothing here for me to give you. So 0 divided by 4 you can do. It just results in 0. So the slope is 0, and that means that it is a horizontal line. I'm just going to write horiz because that's what I have space for. A skateboard ramp has a rise of 15 inches and a run of 54 inches. That means, let me draw this out, that it's 15 inches tall and it's 54 inches long. So that's going to be the ramp. Honestly, it tells you the rise is 15 and the run is 54. Slope is rise over run. So 15 over 54, we just need to simplify that fraction. That simplifies to 5/18. The slope can also tell us how steep something is. So I'm going to kind of write this over here. It's not really related to example 5, but that's okay. If I have a slope of 3, that means from each point I would rise 3, run 1, rise 3, run 1. That would be a line with a slope of 3. If I have a slope of 1/3, that means rise 1, run 3, and so on. Which line is steeper? 3. Imagine like climbing a hill, or you can also think about it in the negative. If you were skiing down a hill, the steeper one is the one with a bigger number, basically bigger absolute value. So we need to decide which line is steeper. This means find the slope of line 1, find the slope of line 2, and then compare them. So take a moment, find the slope of line 1, find the slope of line 2, and then we will compare it. So pause the video, find the slopes. I ended up with a slope of 2 and a slope of 3/5. 2 means you go up 2 over 1. That's pretty steep. 3/5 means up 3 over 5. That's not as steep, so 2 is the steeper line. So line 1 is steeper. What if you had a slope of -5 versus a slope of -2? Which one is steeper? Negative 5 would be going down 5, right 1. Negative 2 would be down 2, right 1. Which one would be scarier to ski down? Negative 5, so that one is steeper. Negative 5 is steeper. So you're not looking for the bigger number, you're looking for the number that has the bigger absolute value. If you took the negatives off completely, which one would be bigger? So if you took the negatives off, 5 would be bigger, that one would be the steeper slope.